Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bill with Franklin Loan Center. It is Wednesday. What are we on? December 15th, just 10 days before Christmas. Hope everybody's week is going great. So today, and as anybody that's been paying any attention to any financial news at all knows that one of the big talking points right now is inflation. Why do I care about inflation? Well, I care about inflation for all the same reasons as everybody else. I don't like paying more for stuff than I did just a few months ago. But from a mortgage perspective, as you've heard me say a bunch of times, inflation is the absolute arch enemy to interest rates, right? So anytime inflation is starting to look like it's running hot or going higher, you're gonna that is always gonna drive rates up. I mean that's just like the most basic sort of principle to bonds and how they work, right? So, but here's an interesting take, right? So today is Fed Day, and the Fed has been really kind of sitting on the sidelines for inflation. They've been talking about it's transitory. They've been talking about it'll just ease up and don't worry about it. Well, the last Fed meeting, they actually came out and kind of got rid of the transitory talk, and they're making it sound like it could be here a little longer term. Now they're meeting again today, and I've seen two different sources that I trust quite a bit. One is Barry Habib with MBS Highway, that's Mortgage-Backed Securities Highway. Watch his podcast almost every darn day, and then kind of heard the same sentiment out of a guy, a YouTuber, Meet Kevin, that actually my wife watches all the time, and she's always sending me his podcast, and they both had kind of a similar sentiment. So what's anticipated out of the Fed today is that they're actually going to really start coming off the throttle on these bond purchases. So the Fed's been buying as much as $120 billion a month between mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. And now what they're saying is that, at the last meeting they announced that they're going to start coming off $15 billion a month, so $15 billion less of those purchases every month, which is, with less demand in the market, that should drive, that'll be something that's going to drive interest rates up, right? So you've got that side of it. Now, what they're talking about, what's anticipated for today, is that the Fed's going to now double that to $30 billion a month. So $30 billion a month of less on the demand side. So that on the surface seems like it should drive interest rates up, but it should also have the effect of cooling inflation. And what both Barry Habib have been talking about, and then also Meet Kevin, they're both talking about something that's really counterintuitive, but I think makes good sense, and what I really hope comes true here is that that what the market's going to perceive this as is actually good news on the inflation front, because it'll actually should have the effect of pulling inflation down, and that should actually help interest rates. Now, do I expect to see a big run down in interest rates right now? No, but I think that could counteract the effect of really seeing rates jump up, because it could get us to the point where I think the market's going to be in a wait and see. So I think what I'm hoping to see over the coming days is that we see the rates kind of stay in the same band, maybe come down a little bit. That's very counterintuitive to what we're thinking here, or to what you would normally think, I should say. But it's definitely something that I think it's going to be something we're going to want to keep an eye on. I think maybe we get this window of time of maybe 6 months, maybe 9 months, where that buys an opportunity to kind of hopefully see inflation start to tick down a bit. And if that happens, then I think maybe the Fed has gotten, threaded that needle. If it does not happen and inflation continues to run, then that's where I think things could get very strange in the interest rate market. So anyway, just my 2 cents are actually me reiterating the 2 cents of two people much smarter than me. So that's what I have for y'all this week. Please like, share, comment. I love it when I get comments on this stuff, because if there's opposing views or similar views or tangent views, I'd love to hear them. I am Bill with Franklin Loan Center, and I'll see you all next week.